What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Redemption with Jaden. Today we're going over the deck that we used in the May online tournament, and and we're going to be watching the games for those as well, because that's obviously the more interesting part. But before that, I'm going to go over the deck, and even before that, I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of why I'm using this deck again. Because, as you probably can tell, it's a familiar one that's been played on the channel before, but there's a few differences, so hopefully we'll be able to keep this intro moving along here pretty short, and go ahead and get into the gameplay. So I wanted to, first of all, it was a little bit of a bigger tournament, and I kind of wanted to test some changes in this deck and against like a good variety of decks and players, and so that was kind of one of the reasons. I have a different deck that I'm still kind of in the testing process for, but that I do want to play in an online tournament at some point, so we'll get there eventually, but that one's going to be kind of a little more of a fun deck, I think, that I want it to still do all right and have some good games and good gameplay for you guys, but it is a little bit quirky, so get excited for that, I guess. It'll be enjoyable, I think. But for now, we did a little bit more of the competitive side, because in the next few weeks, since Nationals has been kind of getting all this hype lately, I want to go over some of the, I guess, what I think are the top tier decks in the meta right now, and I think what a lot of people think are the more competitive themes. So we're starting out with kind of the one and only Postexilic. I guess not the one and only. It's just my version of it that I really like. I've been working on since late last year. Started out with a version pretty similar to this in the November online tournament, and kind of made some adjustments along the way. So in the next few weeks, we'll expect to maybe see some Throne, maybe some Flood. I don't think I've had Flood on the channel before, so at least not me playing it. So that's going to be kind of exciting to try out and see if I can handle myself. I don't know. We'll see if I do it justice, hopefully. But yeah, I think that we're going to be kind of talking a little bit more about the meta in the next few weeks, and then maybe we'll kind of go back into some more relaxed stuff, and kind of have the calm before the storm of Nats, as we I don't know. But yeah, so let's go over the changes that I made in this deck. The first one, and maybe the most important one since last time, or I guess, well, maybe I was talking about the changes that I actually don't remember if they've been on the channel before, but like Terra the Delayed came in for Jacob Disgruntled Subject, just because usually they both get played as Meek. Jacob fits a little bit better with the theme because he's post-exilic, and Terra is like, why is there this random blue hero in here? But usually they both get played as Meek, so it doesn't really matter. But Terra has a better star ability, so it lets you play a Lost Soul from a deck, which is nice because it can either help me set up a little bit faster if I need to get out my Exiles or get up my Remnant, or if I really need a Distress to negate my opponent's Jonah or other like music leader problematic character that is territory class. So yeah, I just figured Terra would be a little bit better. He also, if you get him in the draw 8, can help you determine who goes first. If like I've got a really nice hand, and if my opponent goes first and they have Golden Calf or something or even worse, Covenant of Death to kind of shut down my entire offense, what I'm doing, then I might want to use Terra on myself to not only help me set up, but also to help me make sure that I get to go first, so that I can get set up a little bit before my opponent has a chance to kind of get their counters down. The other one was adding Pagan Sailors. I don't remember if that was has been featured on the channel before. The reason for this was he doesn't really add a whole lot as far as like being able to play more enhancements and stuff, but artifact removal can be good. You also get to choose a nationality with him, so not only can I choose him to be brown or gray or pale green for Bael's Prophecy, but I can also choose him to be Persian, because hey guy, he says you may play a good O2 Fortress from reserve or discard pile if a Persian is in play. So I'm adding a Persian because a lot of people play like Shipwreck and stuff now, or maybe they have other fortress removal if they're playing Assyrians or Something like that, where if they take out Zerubbabel's Temple, then it kind of shuts down my Joida rescue, because he needs Zerubbabel's Temple to be in play. So Haggai lets me recur Zerubbabel's Temple from the discard pile if Pagan Sailors is down as Persian. It doesn't happen super often, but when it does happen, now I have an answer, a possibility of still having it, so that if Joida, or I need Zerubbabel's Temple back to make sure that Joida works, then I can figure out a way to do that. And the nice part is that Haggai plays it, so you can attack, and the same attack you can play Zerubbabel's Temple and then end it with Joida, because Haggai also is part of the banding chain. So that's pretty nice. Speaking of ways to help Joida if things get messed up, because while it is a very powerful combo to use Joida to play Feast of Boots from your discard pile, to play Jordan Interrupted from reserve on your Zerubbabel in battle, to play Impartial Judgment, that also means that there are a lot of pieces that are needed in order to get this very strong play. You get up to a draw 6 off of just the enhancements, and then Impartial Judgment to hopefully wipe out all the defense in their hand. That's kind of the whole theme of the deck. If you're unfamiliar with that, I do go into a little bit more detail in kind of my earlier games with the deck, so maybe go back and look at the November online tournament. I also played a kind of a gimmicky version of this in, I want to say, the February online tournament, where I used Egger to try to play Impartial Judgment every turn. It sort of worked, but wasn't absolutely necessary, and this version is definitely a little bit faster, which makes it better, I think. But there's a lot of ways to disrupt the combo, I guess. The main one being that if you lose Zerubbabel early on, because you need a meek hero to be in battle for Feast of Boots to play an enhancement on, then you need Zerubbabel to be a part of the band, because otherwise you won't have a meek hero if you're trying to end it with Joida, because most meek heroes don't band. Hence the meekness. But Zerubbabel lets you convert him to meek and then still band. So you do get to have a meek hero in battle and then have Joida, and you get to play all your stuff. But if Zerubbabel gets discarded early on, or you lose him because you needed him for like a setup rescue or something like that, because he draws and searches for heroes, then you're kind of in trouble. The only way to really get him back is Matan the Defender, resurrect a Postexilic hero on his star ability. And even that's a little risky, because we draw a lot of cards outside of game rule drawing, so odds of hitting the star ability aren't super great. But and if we have him before Zerubbabel gets discarded anyway, then there's not really a whole lot we can do there. So if we lose Zerubbabel, then we're kind of just hoping that Zechariah or whoever else in the banding chain can get us through, or at least that's where we were relying on before. But for this tournament, I tried out using Ride On Victoriously / Awesome Things, mainly the Awesome Things side. It lets you play an enhancement on your meek hero in battle. So if we haven't gotten, or if our main way to get it done has been disrupted, then we can use Awesome Things to play Impartial Judgment pre-block anyway. You can still use Impartial Judgment in battle, not pre-block, but the problem with that is that that could give them special initiative, because if they choose to discard all the evil characters in battle, then they'll have special initiative before any of the cards in their hand have to be discarded. So pre-block is really the goal for it. So I added Awesome Things so that I would kind of have a backup plan, and can maybe also help me get it done earlier if I'm waiting on Joida or waiting on enough other meek heroes. Maybe I can search for another meek hero instead of searching for Joida, and then it also means I don't necessarily need Feast of Boots. So there's kind of a few different reasons. In a pinch or whatever, I guess I could use the Ride On Victoriously side to extend the battle, add a meek hero to battle. That would be, hopefully I wouldn't have to use that, because hopefully I'm getting rid of all their evil cards and kind of just walking through with Zechariah and the banning chain afterwards. But if I do need to use that side, it's an option if I've already used Jehoiada to play Impartial Judgment free block. So that was kind of the main change, I think, that really helped like the strategy of the deck. The other ones were a little more defensive. The first one being Confusion of Mind coming into the deck. It kind of switched with Flying Scroll that was in the deck before, and then Axe of Solomon came out of reserve. Axe of Solomon was in there as kind of another like gimmicky try to play Impartial Judgment twice sort of thing, where I can play Axe of Solomon to get it from my deck, and then Axe of Solomon is worded weirdly because it's an old card and actually bounces the enhancement back to your hand after the effect takes place. So if you go to your deck, you get Impartial Judgment, they discard all their cards, and then you get Impartial Judgment back, and then next time you can use Jordan Interrupted. But I figured that, in testing, like I never really pulled that off. Like I never really got Axe of Solomon out of my reserve anyway, so I took it out, put Flying Scroll into the reserve, and then Confusion of Mind into the main deck. Confusion of Mind, I think, is a lot better counter to most offenses now. It hits annoying territory class heroes like Jonah and Music Leader and Joshua, but only your opponents. So it's not like Covenant with Death that hits everyone and you really have to build around, but it's one-sided. So that's pretty nice. And then also the option to discard, a lot of people don't realize, or maybe like just don't think about it as, but the option to discard is an instant ability, so it's not really tied to the ongoing part of the negate, which means that once you activate it, that's when your opponent has to decide whether or not they want to discard 2 enhancements or a good down it to discard it. So a lot of times your opponent won't really be sure, like, I don't know if I need my hero abilities or not, and I'd rather just hold on to the enhancements that I have. So then, they won't discard, and then on their turn, if they realize they would like to have discarded it, well, then it's a little too late for that. It also, if they're playing Storehouse, then they can't discard because their hand is protected. Although if they're playing Storehouse, then hopefully we've negated it with 3 woes by then, because Impartial Judgment is not quite as effective with Storehouse down. So that's kind of a balance thing or situational thing, I guess. The last change was another defensive one. You might notice that the number of non-territory class enhancements in the deck reduced just to Impartial Judgment because Death of Unrighteous came out of the defense here. So I'm down to just 1 evil enhancement, I guess if you don't count Delivered or the curses, with Balaam's Prophecy, and really it's an offensive enhancement anyway, because it just combos with Joshua. But I took out Death of Unrighteous and put in another character. I put in the Lying Prophet, which kind of helps me guarantee a little more that I'll have an evil character to play Balaam's Prophecy on, and then it also just kind of has some added flexibility that it adds to the deck. First turn, if they attack with a hero that's negating characters or something, then if I want to use the Deceiver to go to Damsel, as is often kind of the initial play, I guess, or like kind of something I want to do right away to help me get set up. Well, now I can go to the Lying Prophet instead if they're negating characters, because he cannot be prevented, whereas Damsel only cannot be interrupted. So adds a little bit more flexibility there, and also good prophets are everywhere, so maybe you'll be able to get some quick chump blocks here, discarding a good prophet. So that's kind of a change that I think I'm going to keep in this deck. Or at least one that I want to keep on testing, that I think is probably going to end up staying in the deck. So those were the changes that made for this tournament. In round 1, I played against Sean from Chris's playgroup in Tennessee, played Jay from the Alabama playgroup in round 2. Both of those were really great games, and then another, obviously, they were all pretty good games and all relatively close score-wise. though this deck is definitely not known for its differential, as you can see by the very minimal defense. It's just like gotta hope that you go off first and win. But it's pretty consistent with doing that. Third game was against Renee. You've seen him on the channel before multiple times, especially in online tournaments, as he's one of the most active players in those. So that's pretty sweet. We got to play another one. He wasn't super happy, I don't think, to see this deck again, but I think he's learning more and more about the little tip or the little tricks that I got, and that game was actually a lot closer. I mean, it was close score wise. Sorry, spoiling it, but it was like pretty like neck and neck throughout the game, I felt, and I got a few kind of lucky plays that I think kind of were able to pull me ahead towards the end there, and I did end up winning the tournament, as you may have seen on the tournament page or whatever, and also Jay posted his deck on the forums. So once you're watching, if you're watching round 2 now, then you can go ahead and check out his deck. I think he called it, I want to say Death on the Threshing Floor. Yeah, because of the Covenant of Death and the Threshing Floor combo. And I mean, there's not really a combo with those two cards specifically, but it was just kind of focused on those two. So yeah, really cool games, and I hope you guys enjoy whichever one you're watching now. Alright.
I don't have any souls.
You don't have any souls?
No.
Alright, nor do I. I do have some stars, though. I got a 5. You said you don't have any stars?
No.
Alright. So I will do mine first then. Let's do Solomon's Dream and Zerubbabel the Builder. So we're gonna look at your hand and play a good temple from my deck. Auto, Storehouse.
I'll pick them up and flash them over the camera.
Plot.
Okay.
Wives. Alright, so Wives, Balaam's, Reverence, and Awe. What's the last one on either side? Or on the top and bottom?
Samson and Sword.
Samson and Sword Against Sword.
Yep.
Alrighty. And I will play a Zerubbabel's Temple from my deck. Just building his temple as it was meant to be.
Alright. I guess we'll roll to see who gets first.
Yep. I got a 1.
5. Okay. I'll go first.
Okay.
Play Samson. I'm going to the Storehouse. The Reverence and Awe.
Threshing Floor. Would you like to banish my discard pile?
Sure. Use Angel under the Oak to battle challenge to draw 2.
Yep.
Go to deck to get Samuel.
Oh, OG Samuel, huh?
Oh yeah, he's even got like the awkward yellow. I'm gonna Threshing Floor my top 2. Take one of them and leave the other on top.
Okay.
Settler battle challenge, Jaden?
Let's see. Yeah, might as well. I'm gonna block with the Deceiver. And as much as I'd like to draw, your Storehouse is not gonna let me do that, so I'm gonna use Lying Prophet to just discard Samuel.
Actually, I'm gonna 3 woes Lying Prophet on good.
Okay.
Wait, no, that's stupid. Never mind.
Sounds
It
good.
doesn't get me. I guess. Can I still can I pick it up and die, or do you only just die by the numbers? I guess I mean you die by the numbers.
Alright. Or wait, okay, so it's still playing the woes and then
I mean,
Samuel dies.
if I can pick it up, I would like to. If I can pick it up, I'd like to. But if
Sure,
you want me to stick with it,
that's fine. You can pick it up.
so pick it up.
It was
Thank
it was
you.
a
Sorry
pretty quick realization, so. Alright.
Your turn.
Let's do a couple star abilities. I'm gonna use Terra the Delayed, play a Lost Soul from your deck, and well, I guess I'll do Delivered first. We'll discard the top card of your deck, and then Terra. Oh yeah, your deck's protected. That's right. In that case, I will play a Lost Soul from my deck. Yeah.
You don't want to use this star, I don't care, but
No, that's all right. I'm gonna grab the Exiles.
I'm gonna request down in the initiative.
Yeah, or let's see. Does the star abilities, are they part of the draw phase, I guess? So
Yes.
okay. Well, I mean, I'll target something with Exiles. So we'll grab kind of with Abraham. Then you can play Dominant if you like.
Oh my god.
Okay. The Balaams, you got the Wives, and Plot. Okay. We're gonna put down Joyous and Eliashib. And yeah, I'll play Delivered. And activate. I'll activate Book of the Covenant on Zerubbabel's Temple. And I will take Covenant with Abraham from reserve. I will activate Covenant with Abraham. We'll take Joshua from reserve. And I will put down Terra the Wanderer, so he's meek. And yeah, let's make a rescue, or I guess battle challenge, right? Yeah. Make a battle challenge with Zerubbabel. Convert him to meek to draw 2. And ban to Joshua. And we'll play Gadoshi Fortress from my reserve, which will be Noah's Ark.
Okay,
Blocking.
I'll decline.
Yep.
Actually, no, I'm going to block you.
Okay.
I'm going to block you. Foreign wives, mine-ish.
Sure.
I'm going to plot those 2 and Lying Prophet.
Okay.
I think my deck is 51 cards.
That'd probably be a good thing for Chris to have checked when he checked your deck.
Yeah, it is.
All right. I'm gonna put down Akeem the compiler.
Not something you would expect.
What's that?
That's not something that people expect to happen on turn 1 on a battle challenge.
No, not really, but you know, I wasn't gonna be like super surprised if you did it, but that was kind of the reason I wanted to get Noah's Ark out right away.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that, and I'm like, this might be the best chance I have to try to take some value with that plot. So.
Right. And I suppose you already played Jeremy, so you're
Also,
kind of just hoping you won't need it in round 3.
Pretty much. I mean, I was wanting to rip one, so.
All right, I'll pass turn.
I had it
Now the rip is forever recorded in history.
Exactly. All right.
First person to rip a plot on my channel.
I'm gonna three woes your Akim the compiler as evil.
Yep.
And then I'm going to use endless treasures to go to reserve. I'm going to use the ability that lets me search discard pile for a weapon. There is no weapon in discard pile.
Okay.
And I'm going to activate Covenant with Doubt.
Cool.
Your turn.
Oh, you're done? Alright. Draw 3. There's a hopper. We'll go ahead and give that to you. Upkeep, I will draw 1 from book. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and use book to take Oath of Purity from my reserve. We'll use Covenant with Abraham. Actually, we're going to activate Covenant with Abraham over here on Ark. And grab Eliezer, the Potentate. Then I will activate Oath of Purity on Book to bounce my Akeem. So then I will replay him to reset his ability.
Which is negated by Covenant of Death.
Right, yep. Good call. Majestic Heavens, we'll put that down. And let's see.
I can see your hand. Can you please hold it?
Oops. Just wanted to help you out a little bit.
I'm feeling pretty confident.
Yep. I'm gonna just go ahead and play Falling Away now.
Okay.
Take the Exiles. And we'll...
I'm going to ask for Domination.
Sure. I'm gonna top deck Delivered from my discard pile. Alright.
I'd rather not get Majestic Heavens right now.
Makes sense. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and attack with Eliezer the Vassal, who is meek 7-2.
Walk you with 4 and wild your initial.
Let's see, I've only drawn 4, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna play. Yeah. I'm gonna play Solomon's Dream and search for a good card. We'll grab Otto. Then I will I guess we'll draw 2 off Solomon's Dream.
And 4 and wives is a static one-time protect, correct?
Correct. So yeah, activates, or it checks when she blocks. Alright, I drew a Hunter, so we'll go ahead and use that. Let's grab a Distressed.
Yeah. Side battle minish.
See, yeah, it's mutual, so yeah, go ahead.
Booms.
Yep. Alright, so that makes you beating me and I'm not beating you. So do you have any evil cards in your discard pile?
I do not.
Alright, I'll play Feast of Booths. And I banish my Delivered, Falling Away, and Lying Prophet to draw 3.
Yep.
And I will yeah, we're gonna take, or actually play Jordan Interrupted from my reserve. Draw 3 and play an OT enhancement.
This is interesting.
Yeah, we'll play Soldier's Prayer.
Is your deck entirely territory class cards?
You know,
Feels
it's might be close. um, let's grab Zerubbabel's Plumb Line.
I'll pass back, Jaden. Hit me again.
What's that?
I'll pass back. I don't have anything.
Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, exactly. Yeah, I guess we're not going to have another chance to use it with Covenant of Death active, so we'll top deck a good card from my deck, which will be let's do 3 woes. Alright, so I've got lots of numbers, so it is stalemate.
Yep.
Cool.
Get your massive hand down, bro.
Put down my Guardian. Oh. Put down a couple artifacts. Put down a couple meek heroes. And put down a couple non-meek heroes and pass the turn.
I'll go 3. Get Exiles and Imitate and Wicked. His luck is not on my side, evidently. Going to actually, I need to do my star ability before I do their abilities, I guess.
Alright.
Draw meek hero, draw 1.
Okay.
Draw 1. And then I'm going to use Exiles to go grab Unsuccessful. I'm going to use Storehouse to go grab Confusion. I'll play Eliakim, the Expatriate, as Meek.
Did you say what your woes target was?
Didn't say, so I guess I need to just let it slide.
Alright.
I know what it would have been, but looks like it's Samson. Use Threshing Floor to look at the top 2. Take 1, and we got the other.
Alright then, my block.
Yep.
Alright, let's run a block with Pagan Sailors. It's going to be a gray Persian. And he's negated, that's right. That's alright, my initiative.
It's 5-4.
3-4.
Yep. 3-4. You're next.
Alright, I'll die. So I forgot that he was negated. And you get to 2.
Sure.
Alright. Draw 3. Hunter. Remnant. I'm gonna not use Hunter. I'll use Remnant to take your foreign wives.
Cool.
make this it for now. Upkeep, I'm gonna draw with book. And I will let's make a rescue. Oh, let's see. I should let's activate Endless Treasures, underdeck it, and take unsuccessful from my reserve. Draw 2. I have a darkness. I do have your Foreign Wives in territory, so I'm not using that. Alright, I'll make a rescue with I want to bounce anybody? Don't think so. Angel of the Oak, draw 2. A Prosperity. 15. Yeah. Oh, no. I will. Okay. Yeah, I'll discard Balaam's Prophecy to draw 2. A Covet does not work. In exchange to my deck for Joshua, we'll underdeck Covenant with Death. And how many cards do you have in hand?
8.
8 cards. Okay. Going to exchange to my hand for David, Outcast Refuge. It's going to ban to Jehoshaphat the Meek. I'm going to play Evil Woes. Actually, hold on. Nope, that's going to be my attack.
That's your attack? Okay.
Yep.
A block of Profane Daughters. Is it my...
I'm gonna play Evil Woes to negate Storehouse.
Okay.
I'm gonna play Awesome Things to play an enhancement on my Meek hero in battle. So I'm gonna play Impartial Judgment. Negate your Profane Daughters, I guess, and then you have to discard 5 evil cards from hand and or battle.
I'll discard Profane, Unsuccessful, Support, Confusion, and Gomer. And I will give you Imitate.
Sweet.
Yeah, I knew that was going to come at some point.
Yeah. I'm gonna play my Reverence and Awe to banish your discard pile, except Heroes and Lost Souls. Play Mace Road, which will fail to find.
That's what, like 4 cards?
6 now. 5 in a Mace Road. And I will play Triumph Entry, and we'll top deck the Second Coming from my deck.
Oh,
And I will put down Joshua and pass.
draw 3. Attack Moses.
Moses. It's the Legacy Rare one.
Yep.
Hmm. I'll block with your foreign wives. Initiative. Alright. I will die and give you the darkness. Puts you at 3.
Sure.
You're done? There.
Yep.
Draw 3. Oops. Upkeep. I'll draw 1 off a book. Woes will... Woes will hit your Moses.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go to my attack. Actually, no, first I'll use my Oath of Purity and bounce my Jehoshaphat and my Eliud. Then I'll go to my attack and we'll go with David, Bantu, Jehoshaphat. Let's see, you don't have any like artifacts or, well, Joshua targets, right?
Nope.
Okay.
No Joshua targets.
Then I will Bantu Ezra, and then Eliud. If a meek Postexilic hero is in play, you have to discard an evil card from hand or territory.
I do not have one either place. Wait, no, I have woes. Surrender exiles.
Okay. Puts me at 2. I will put down Zechariah. We'll play Son of God on your Wicked. Puts me at 3. We'll Second Coming to grab Son of God. Put down the Deceiver. And we'll put down Damsel and pass.
Draw 3. Draw Bill. What happens if I bounce Moses?
He
He's
would
still negated.
reactivate in battle.
You would?
Yep.
Okay. What is it still in storehouse?
What was on Moses?
Oh no. Storehouse. Storehouse is scattered.
Okay.
Anything around yoke. Your Kim the compiler isn't getting my neutrals,
Correct.
so I can't use my soul. I use Jetfoot to discard the top and to kill your two evil characters.
Okay. Let's see. Jephthah's a 9/6, right?
Correct.
Right, we'll just play or block with my foreign wives. He would be discarded, right? Because mutual, or
Yep,
I've got
I
6.
discarded it.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that. Sorry.
All right, your turn.
All right, draw. Let's see. So you put down Otto, someone in Ehud, who's in the middle there.
Yep. Deborah.
Deborah. Okay. Alright, I will activate Endless Treasures, grab Flying Scroll from my reserve. Yeah, guess I forgot the woes target. And let's yeah, let's attack with Solo Eliud.
Start scattered.
Okay.
Again.
Good game. Well, ended up being a quick one like you wanted.
Didn't go the way I wanted it to go, but I figured it would go this way because I am playing a fun deck.
Yeah, well, I mean, Covenant of Death definitely does shut this deck down, but I was like, well, as long as I can get all this value in this one battle, maybe I can get enough cards to, you know, get back on my feet.
And you did.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the main thing, I guess, was trying to get to my Angel Under the Oak so that I could get to Joshua to underdeck Covenant of Death. Which is pretty much the reason why I think Covenant of Death isn't quite as competitive as it was when John played it at Nats.
Oh, I know that it's not as competitive. I just want an excuse to attack with. Meet judges with Threshing Floor.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
You want me to be honest?
I do appreciate that.
I was hoping that I could dodge the impartial judgment, but I've not actually looked at your list of that deck, so I didn't know what you had.
Sure, yeah. Well, actually, so the Ride On Victoriously was a last minute ad last night. I switched it out for Mayhem. And I think it was the right call, because like without Zerubbabel, then I don't really have a way to play it pre-block. So I figured that if Zerbil or something happens to him, then I have a backup plan. And I mean, even in that game, I couldn't play it pre-block, but just because of Covenant with Death was still restricting me from playing. But
I've had a lot of so far. I mean, I've not played a bad game with this deck.
Yeah.
I think would I have gotten a soul? Did you have a block if I didn't draw? Did you have a good block?
Not really.
Okay, so all I had to do was just not draw, which I was trying to draw to evil.
I mean,
I had draw to evil.
It depends on what you would have played, I guess. Like, what did you have for Jephthah?
I had negates of plenty.
Well, I had unsuccessful, so I guess you would have had to play something first. As long as you had a battle winner, then you would have got it.
I had sword against sword, which would have done much, but I had something else. I thought No, I had sword against sword. I was gonna have to, I guess, not get one then. Yeah, I mean, it works pretty good. I mean, I was expecting if you played that deck, I was going to lose. so that's what you've been playing all year. So
yeah, I haven't played it in an online tournament for a while. I guess I played a Postexilic deck in February that was pretty much the same, but I kind of had tried having a little more fun with the Egger thing. Getting it so I could play Impartial Judgment every turn.